What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. So guys, there's a new episode of Love and Hip Hop, which contains two people. One is Safari Samuels, who has a pretty big Instagram following. Remember, he was with Nicki Minaj, just divorced from Erica Mena, and then Amara Negra, who has a slightly less following, like 2.6 million followers, but she's known all over the world, okay? I think she's a singer, actress, and what people don't know, she's really big in the Latino community. That's something that a lot of us as African Americans, we can't really gauge. When we look at somebody's influence, we're looking at their influence in America, but with her, she got all kind of influence in Latin America. That's one thing, especially in the Afro-Latino community, all right? They're hanging out having dinner, and he's telling her, like, you know, you hanging out with me, you should be glad because it gives you clout. I can't play the clip because they'll demonetize it, but she throws a drink on him in the face. And when I'm looking at that clip, I'm looking at all of the comments of what these ladies are saying. And I hate to agree, partly it's right. And this is what I want to talk about. You see, as men, we understand that there is a correlation between female education and reduction in poverty. Female opportunity and a reduction in poverty. Female contributions or women contributions and its positive effect on society and on a country. That we can argue all day. We understand that. But what I have not really seen for the most part is that correlation in today's world where you would see a woman is educated highly in Black America or in the Afro-Latino community, right? And doing very well. That translates into her decision-making into a good guy. And I'm thinking to myself, Amara Negra went out and got pregnant by some guy in Miami, got twins, okay? She's gone from that guy. So didn't want to get married. Big time Kevin Samuels fans though, but didn't listen to anything he said. No problem. Went out and got married. Didn't get married. You had these twins, you end up with Safari Samuels. Now let me talk about Safari Samuels. Safari Samuels is one of the most effeminate men on the internet, especially as a Black man. We can be more specific since he has a Jamaican flag up there, a Jamaican American man. Let's give him all his props, all right? As a Jamaican American man or a Black man, he's a very effeminate young man, all right, in this thinking. Now, I'm not the one to judge because I've been there before, but if you look at all his situations, he carries them out like a lady. Nicki Minaj, Erica Mena. Let me deal with Erica Mena. Erica Mena, when he was dealing with her, and I'm not saying that these are the best mates in the world, which also talk a lot about him. It reveals his psyche. But at the same time, in my honest opinion, whenever him and Erica Mena were having problems, he ran to Instagram a lot. He talked about the wife, talked about how much he hated being in a relationship. And when I thought about seeing that, I looked at it and said, this is something I would expect a woman to do, not a grown man like this. I mean, I can see that he's doing it, but I would expect a woman to do something like that, not him. Not a grown man who is rich, a grown man who is doing this, but this is what he's doing. And he does it repetitively, okay? Now, let's look at some of the other relationships in entertainment that don't work out. We talked about things such as, let's say, Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey. Michael B. Jordan doesn't carry out like that when the relationship was over. He didn't. He handled himself in a very masculine way. Devon Franklin, despite the criticisms he got from Black women, he handled himself in a very masculine way. But not this guy. Clearly you can see what he's doing. Just like Summer Walker, anybody in entertainment, if you get with her, you know what her play is. She's gonna go out there and she's gonna have that nasty attitude when something doesn't go right. Again, when things are good, they're great. But when they're bad, it's rough. So she's gonna run to the internet and tell on you, tell your business. She's gonna mock you, all of that. My question is that, did Amara Negra think that she was special? Like, what is it about women, some of these ladies in entertainment, that you think that he won't do that same thing to you? Why do you feel that you are special as an individual? As if that person isn't going to do X, Y, and Z, okay? That person's gonna do exactly X, Y, and Z because you're not special. So now you're upset. The guy is telling you you should be lucky to be with me. And again, listen, I'm a person that has a lot of confidence in things like that, but let's just be real. This guy has a problem. And it could be some of this is scripted, I'm not sure. But that guy has a problem. It's obvious he's problematic. Women look at a guy like that and say, I can change him. Oh yeah, because he's acting that way towards them, but once he gets with the real female like me, no. In fact, you're probably even worse than the last chick. So my question is, Marla Nigger, what was the use of obtaining all of that wealth? What was the use of having business in the Dominican Republic? What was the use of being able to go back and forth between the Afro-Latino community, white men, Latino men, black men, and you can't get it right? And she has no excuse. Beautiful, exceptionally gorgeous. Can deal with blacks, can deal with whites, Latinos, whatever you want to call it. Can't get the right guy at all. Single mom, doing things her way, which is okay. But at what point, Summer Walker, at what point, Marla Negra, do we realize, Erykah Badu, that these things don't work? And these are the ladies that are setting trends for the new generation who you're going to go into demise because there's no rules of engagement and life does not work like that. You cannot have those people in your community. I'm sorry. I don't care how much money they have. People like Safari, people like Marla, they're dysfunctional. Yet they're influencing while being dysfunctional. As a man, let me just say this, and I've made this mistake before. Why would you tell a woman, okay? I mean, I can see if you're like in your 20s. Why would you tell a woman, the reason why you're dealing with me is because of the clout it brings you? What would be the point of telling somebody something like that? Like if you don't like them, and I've noticed this is so much more effective. If you don't like them, just stop talking to them. Once you have to go there and start explaining that to people, it sounds stupid and it makes you sound weak. I don't care how true it is. It just, like I said, it makes you sound silly. Just let her go. All right, look, you don't get it or whatever. Let me just put you on pause or on a break for some time and, you come back and get yourself together. It's better to say that. But no, let's go ahead on and say things that are silly. And this is what guys should start understanding. Stop telling these chicks about themselves like that. You're not going to get anywhere. Okay? Most of them don't care. You're wasting your time anyway. So why do you need to tell them like, oh, well, you know what? You're broke anyway, or you're dusty anyway. Like, what is the whole point of all that? It's just, okay, like, obviously, if you're somebody that's doing very well, she knows that. I mean, she wouldn't be talking to you if that was the case. So she knows that she's dusty. She knows that she's poor, but you put her on the same level as you and made her feel differently. So now it doesn't matter. So if you want to reinforce that, leave her alone. Just leave her alone. Because you're going to go through all these different things that don't make any sense. It's going to be problematic and all of that. So when that happens, it's too much. It's better for guys just go away. All right? Now, guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Drunk. I appreciate you for all you do. Subscribe to the bell. Right.